Thank you for joining us this afternoon on this Carroll College virtual town hall meeting. My name is John Cech and I'm the president of Carroll College. I'd like to start by saying thank you to our faculty, staff, community, and most importantly, the students who are joining us on this virtual town hall meeting today. Thank you for being here. Our college, community, state, nation, and the world are currently in extraordinary and trying times. I want to begin my comments by telling you, first of all, how sorry I am that your semester has been disrupted. I'm grieved for the loss and disruption of so many events on this campus. Our students have been unable to travel and share their research. The hard work of our sports teams has been cut short. The theater program cannot play to an audience. We have lost or postponed lectures and campus community events. Even our community worship opportunities have been affected, as we saw last night. These are all collective sacrifices that we need to make for the health and well-being of our larger community. I share your pain, and I'm truly grateful to all of you for your understanding and your patience as we work through this together. Our understanding of COVID-19 national and global health crisis has continued to evolve over the past several days and frankly, hours. In particular, public health officials have now made it clear that the current rate of transmission of COVID-19 in the United States creates a serious risk that the national health system will be unable to properly treat those who become infected and require hospitalization. As many of you may have read by email earlier today, I'm doing this town hall off campus in my home. Based on medical advice, I'm in self-quarantine. I was in contact with someone who tested positive earlier this last week. However, it is very unlikely I am infected, and I feel fine. I do not want to risk passing anything to any member of this campus. I will continue to follow guidance of medical professionals and stay quarantined for the recommended period. I also want to reiterate that our medical advisors have told us that no other Carroll College faculty, staff, or students who have been in contact with me need to be self-quarantined. We know that as a nation and college community, we must take steps that experts tell us will slow the rate of virus transmission. This recognition has led to nearly all colleges and universities in the country and in this region making the decision to move learning to remote delivery. In addition, Governor Steve Bullock has declared a state of emergency for Montana. We're joining many other states. And he has strongly encouraged everyone to avoid bringing together large groups of people. It is now evident that colleges and universities, including Carroll College, have an obligation to make difficult decisions and take significant steps. Recognizing this imperative, Carroll College is moving to all remote learning beginning tomorrow, March 17th. This is a change in schedule from what we reported on Friday. And as I said earlier, things truly do change by the day and sometimes by the hour. This decision has been a difficult one, and I understand many of you, especially our seniors, will be disappointed by this unprecedented disruption to your academic year. Please know I am with you and I share in your disappointment, and I am so sorry this is happening to you. I ask, however, that we all come together in a way that only Carroll College can do, and recognize that this is a time when we are called upon to sacrifice our individual interests for the greater good and take actions to protect ourselves and others from becoming infected. Our actions and those of others can contribute to the national effort and slow the rate of transmission. These actions will also make it less likely that those who are most vulnerable to the effects of the virus, many of them family members and friends, will become infected. At this time, we anticipate the semester will end as scheduled on May 8th. Given that we recognize that this is home for many of our students, and that it may be the safest and most practical decision for them to stay on campus, we are not closing the college. Residence halls and dining will remain open. However, we are urging students to practice social distancing. This decision to move to remote learning also means that all campus events planned for spring semester are postponed indefinitely. We know that many of these events are important to students and their families, and we will explore options for rescheduling or rethinking how we may honor those events appropriately during the coming weeks. This time is an unprecedented one for our nation and Carroll College. As president of the college, my priorities are the health and safety of our community and working with faculty and staff to make it possible for Carroll students to earn their needed academic credits for this semester and for the seniors to graduate on time. I also believe that as a community, we have a moral obligation to make sacrifices that will help the nation mitigate the consequences of this pandemic. The rest of this virtual town hall meeting will be devoted to answering some of the most frequently asked questions that we have received. And I'm joined by Kathy Day, who is our Vice President for Academic Affairs, and Beth Groman, who is our Dean of Students and Retention. And I want you to know, we are modeling social distancing by linking into this virtual town hall meeting from 3 separate locations. So let's begin with Academic Vice President Kathy Day, who will speak first, and then we will move to Dean Groman. So Kathy.
Thank you, Dr. Cech, and thank you to all of you who are joining us for this online virtual town hall. Probably the most pressing question that I've been receiving over the last couple of weeks is, how will we finish the semester? And just as Dr. Cech just said, first and foremost, I want to reiterate that our commitment is to deliver our curriculum through the end of the semester. This is an evolving situation, and it has evolved on an hourly basis, and we have changed our targets repeatedly, and for that I apologize. Originally, we were going to test going online this week and resume in-person classes on Thursday and Friday. Over the weekend, we made the difficult decision that effective tomorrow, March 17th, we will be fully online with almost all of our coursework. Faculty have been preparing and they are ready to provide instructions for you. So students, first of all, what I will say to you is we expect you to Zoom into your classes at the regularly scheduled times. You will receive, if you have not already, instructions from your faculty on how to do that through Moodle, and I also sent out a tutorial to you over the weekend. We'll evaluate whether or not to return to in-person classes after the Easter break. So if we should happen to be able to do that, students who have left the campus and are not returning, we will provide a way for you to participate remotely. Almost all of our experiential classes will also be delivered virtually. And by those, I mean our labs, our performance-based courses, as well as individual research and experiential internships and nursing clinicals and student teaching. However, some courses cannot be adapted, and we are working on an individual basis with our faculty and with each of you students to make appropriate accommodations so that you can complete your courses and your projects by the end of the year. We are hoping to continue nursing clinical in sites where our students are allowed to access. We've already learned that they may not be able to continue their clinicals in some of our hospitals. However, our faculty are going to virtually deliver simulation labs, which will help them and help you fulfill your requirements. Student teaching in schools is suspended because of the closure of schools. Student teaching supervisors, as well as our faculty, are working on alternative projects, and should the schools resume, we are hopeful our students can join them. Finally, in terms of experiential education, we're working with our internships with our site supervisors and our students on a case-by-case basis. Another question that many ask is, will we receive full credit? As I just mentioned, our intention is to deliver our curriculum throughout the whole semester from a distance. So students, you will receive full credit for the work you do as long as you attend class throughout the semester. Will we be willing to adjust graduation requirements? Since we are completing this semester and all of the courses we are delivering are going to be completed, this should not be a problem. However, there are a few exceptions, especially surrounding our summer-led, faculty-led study abroad trips to Spain and France for this summer. And we are working with those students who needed those experiences to find other alternative ways to complete their graduation requirements. Our academic departments understand the situation that we're in, and they have assured us that they will work with our students to make appropriate adjustments. Some of you are wondering if final exams will occur. Right now, they are scheduled to occur the week of May 4th to the 7th. I do not anticipate that time frame changing. However, we will now get to work to determine exactly how those examinations will be administered, especially if we're teaching from a distance. What resources will we have available for you, especially for those of you who may be going home? First of all is technology. If you will need to have appropriate technology to be able to access your courses remotely. Our faculty have already been working with you to get prepared for this. And the staff in the Carroll College Information Technology area are ready and able to assist you. So if you're having issues or problems with your technology, call the help desk or use web help desk through the Okta portal and you will receive assistance. The Saints Success Center, which has our academic advising, our internships, our veteran services, our accessibility services, will continue to provide service remotely to those students who are not here, and in some instances in person with those who are here, using the social distance requirements and recommendations that we are putting in place here on campus. As some of you may have heard, the Saints Success Center may need to move to a different location in order for us to provide a quarantine area. We will let you know where that is at as soon as we have made a decision. Many of you are wondering about tutoring. We are hoping to provide tutoring either in person here in the library following social distancing protocol or online. Students who have accommodations, such as needing extra time for test taking and note taking, will be accommodated, and we will reach out to those students on a case-by-case basis. The library will be open and serving faculty, staff, and students only. Elizabeth Carr, our library director, has developed a set of directions for how to access resources remotely, and this has been sent out to students today. Many of you might be wondering about absences. Excuse me. If you are ill, please seek medical assistance and let your professors know. They understand that these are unusual times and are willing to be flexible. Will faculty and staff remain on campus? Right now, we intend to continue to keep as many services on the campus open as possible. However, several faculty may choose to work remotely. Even though they may not be on campus, I am asking them to continue to hold virtual office hours as well as conducting advising remotely. So should you need to contact your professor or have questions, simply email them and they are expected to respond. If you also plan to meet with your advisor or a member of the Saints Success Center, again, and do it in person, practice appropriate social distancing recommendations.
Kathy,
yeah. Sorry, one last thing. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, to give you a chance to get the frog out of your throat, maybe we can go to Dean Groman and then finish up with you. So let's go to Dean Groman.
Thanks, Dr. Cech. And thank you all for joining us today. I reiterate and agree with Dr. Cech and Kathy. We're we're deeply sorry that we have to make such decisions, but we're thankful that you're here with us, and we'll get through this together. Some of the questions that I've been receiving are in alignment with the residence halls, and will the residence halls and dining facilities remain open? The shorter answer is yes. The longer answer is we will remain open as long as we can through the semester, and we will continue to serve you while you're here. We are making some modifications for the students in Borromeo Hall, as Kathy mentioned, and we'll be serving the students as best as we can with our current staff. All of our residence life staff will remain here. Garrett Thompson and Sean Underkoffler will be working in the halls as usual, as well as our RA staff will be here. The dining facilities will remain open as well, but we'll find in the coming days that there will be some changes to the schedule as far as when meal services are offered, in order that we can maintain cleanliness in there and ensure that the tables are wiped down and all of the serving areas are sanitized between services. You'll also find that there will be some changes to the way that the dining room is set up so that we can assist with social distancing. We're going to be removing some of the chairs to allow for social distancing between those that are sitting at tables. So we ask that you don't slide next to each other. We want to make sure that we can maintain that distance as much as possible. Another question that I've received is why are we staying open? That's a good question, and I think the big answer is that this is home. This is home for many of you, and we want you to be welcome at home. We also recognize that for some, technology is not going to be as adequate away from campus, and here on campus, technology will be available to you, and you'll be able to access your coursework and complete your semester. We also recognize that for some, traveling home might not be possible in light of restrictions and in light of perhaps not being able to get back to campus when we go back to on-ground delivery. So we want to be able to serve you well, and we'll remain open because of that. I've been asked about how do we practice social distancing in a campus our size in the residence halls? Another great question. It's easy to say stay 6 feet apart, but the reality is when we live in close proximity, that might not be possible. So what I would urge and encourage all of you to do is to use good judgment and wisdom as you're interacting with one another. I would encourage you not to gather in common areas with more than 20 people. I would encourage you to think before you invite folks into your residence hall room. Use good judgment. That's my best advice at this point. My staff will be working on developing some information to help you understand what we think you should avoid, what we think you might want to use caution in doing, and then things that are safe to maintain doing while we are social distancing and trying to prevent the spread of this infection. The last question that I have been receiving is, will the Wellness Center remain open, and what should you do if you feel sick? Our Wellness Center will remain open, but what we're asking is that individuals call the Wellness Center before going down to the actual facility. We'll be able to ask you over the phone or through email what your symptoms are so that we can help you know where to go. So if you're exhibiting symptoms that are in line with COVID-19, our staff will probably refer you to another location so that you can be tested at another location. We want to still be able to serve students in the Wellness Center, so this will allow us to maintain a space that we can see students that are not exhibiting symptoms that are in alignment with COVID-19. That's all the questions that I have at this point. I'll turn it back over to Kathy.
Thanks, Dean Groman. Let's go back to Vice President Day. You're on mute still. There we go.
Thank you, Dr. Cech, and I apologize for the tickle in my throat. Really, I am well. I want to just reiterate the very last thing I was talking about and move to my last question. Faculty and our staff will continue to advise you in both advising and office hours remotely if they are not on campus. So please do not hesitate to reach out. If you're meeting with a faculty member or a staff member in a lab, in their office, I again advise all of you to remember to practice appropriate social distancing behaviors. Many of you have wondered about registration. Registration will take place for fall. We will see you back again, hopefully in the fall, and we'll do it online. We already register online, and again, your staff and faculty will be available virtually. Finally, I have heard several questions about many of our end of the year events: graduation, SURF, our undergraduate research festival, honors convocation, and the Halo Awards. Our immediate focus these last couple of weeks have really been on equipping everyone to go online. And we now are rolling up our sleeves and turning to our commitment to find a way to celebrate all of our students' hard work and accomplishment, and especially those seniors for whom this will be their last semester at Carroll College. I too am saddened that this is the way that the events are turning, but we need to respond in the Carroll way. So I will now work with the planners of these events to find creative ways to celebrate, highlight, and showcase the work that you do. I can't predict what the future will hold in terms of if we will or where we might hold commencement, but I can commit to you that we will find a way to celebrate your achievements. So please continue to stay connected and watch your email for ongoing updates.
Thank you, Kathy, and thank you, Beth. And I just want to conclude by saying, it's been mentioned several times during this virtual town hall, and we all know this, there is a Carroll spirit. I mean, it is unlike anything I've ever seen in the world. And the faculty, the staff, the students, everyone has just rallied and come together over the past few days and weeks. And so I just want to leave you with a very hopeful sense that this college is moving forward in some very positive directions. And you know, we have challenges ahead of us, but we will overcome these challenges and move forward. I want to thank all of you who've tuned into this town hall meeting. I hope that we've been able to answer some of your most pressing questions. I would encourage you to visit our COVID-19 response webpage at carroll.edu/COVID-19, where we've posted responses to frequently asked questions, and we'll continue to update that on a regular basis. The COVID-19 website also includes a contact us form to send us your questions, and where we will continue to update you on responses as circumstances continue to evolve. I want to thank you for your patience, your grace, your understanding during this extraordinary and very difficult time. Please know that my prayers are with you, and I ask for your prayers and the intercession of our Blessed Mother Mary for the college and for one another as we move on. Thank you, and I will finish with Go Saints.